Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we're going to be talking about all the mad skin drops we got last night and early this morning, including the 3 from the Korean Overwatch channel that took everyone by surprise. I'm going to issue a spoiler warning now, so those that don't want to see all these skins before the event release tomorrow have a chance to click away. We'll also be talking about the Overwatch World Cup and how, if you look at the Overwatch League schedule this year, there doesn't appear to be a lot of room for qualifying and basic tournament logistics, leading us to ask the question, will there even be an Overwatch World Cup at BlizzCon in 2019? There's quite a lot to get through, so let's just crack on. First up, we have a new Zenyatta legendary released by the official Overwatch Twitter, and it's a reference to Zhuge Liang. I hope I didn't butcher the pronunciation too much, sorry if I did. He was an ancient Chinese politician, intellectual military strategist, and writer. This, just like all the other Three Kingdoms characters that Blizzard have made into skins, was a real person as well as being romanticized in the historical novels. Now, as a Zen main, I'm obviously really happy that Zen got a skin for this event, even if I don't think this one quite lives up to some of the others. The character obviously suits Zen, but the skin is a little bit plain in my opinion, despite some very cool little details. I do, for example, love the facial hair and the headdress. The yin-yangs on his belt and back are a nice touch, as are the dragons on his orbs, but in general, the colours are quite muted, and I think Zen has some very stiff competition for skins, with even his launch legendaries being of a really high standard. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Do you agree, or do you think this skin is tier 1 and Eddie must be blind? Now, this skin is what we thought would be the daily reveal, as that's what Blizzard have been doing for the previous few events. 1 a day, maybe 2 if they started showing off epics and legendaries, but outside of that, we'd have seen all we were going to for that day. Well, it appears that this time, that's not the case. Just after the main Twitter put this skin out, the Korean Overwatch YouTube channel released a video specifically for that market that featured 3 more skins. Again, spoilers if you don't want to see them before release. In the video, which is very reminiscent of a Big Daddy Jeff developer update, they revealed 3 Korean-inspired skins for this year's New Year event. Now this makes sense. Korea is one of the most important markets for Overwatch to such an extent, I'm surprised they don't do more events uniquely aimed at that audience. I did actually get to go to the last one, where the Busan map was revealed and Diva's cinematic was premiered, a huge privilege to be sure, and for this event it seems Blizzard have made a special effort to include some Korean themed skins. Now the heroes that got them are Tracer, Orisa and Brigitte, and I'll deal with each one in turn. Also big shout out to Maple Giraffe on Reddit who commented with the inspiration behind each one. Tracer got a skin inspired by Hong Gil-dong, who apparently is an illegitimate son of a nobleman who spends their time stealing from the rich to give to the poor, and as an Englishman and therefore required by law to canonize Robin Hood and his healthy disregard for authority and property, I have to say this makes me very happy. Many cultures have archetypal myths or analogues of ancient stories that share similarities, and I don't see it as accidental that the main English hero in Overwatch, Tracer, was given this skin, irrespective of gender. I like this skin a lot. I particularly love the hat, the waistcoat and the sash around the waist. The guns also have some really nice detailing and her hair looks pretty good the way it's styled. Eddie approves, not just of the aesthetic, but of the spirit of the folklore and who the skin was given to. Next up we have this fantastic Orisa skin, which according to Maple on Reddit is from the Korean version of the theatrical lion dance tradition. Can I just say, I love the red mask, which despite being fierce in nature, just makes me think Orisa is cute, especially when she waves, which looks to me like she's that friend who's cringing at something embarrassing you've just done. The white fur on her armor and the beautiful detailing on her gauntlets is a really nice touch. Some are debating if this is an epic instead of a legendary, and I can see that, but if it is, it's one of the best epics in the game. Huge fan, will buy. Last up, we've got what's apparently a Korean general skin for Brigitte, with some guessing it could be Yi Sun-shin. Now I'm conflicted here because I really like the skin. I think her armor is really cool. I love the helmet, and I think the theme suits Brig, obviously. But I hate to say this, it's for Brigitte, who personally I want to see a little bit less of in game, so I'm a bit torn. I want to see people with a cool new skin, but then they'll be playing Brig, which means my team needs one, and it's goats. Maybe that's unfair. I do actually like Brig's character, lore and voice work. I'm just over her in game, if you know what I mean. Trying to be objective for a moment, the skin is great, so if you do like playing Brig, I think this is well worth grinding for. Now in the video, we do also see a slightly different version of the temple part of Busan, and we got to see Tracer carrying carrying a CTF flag in her new skin. This confirms the mode is coming back, with possibly this New Year themed version of Busan getting an extra stage for it. That's welcome in my opinion. Perhaps they also changed CTF a little bit to make it work better for this game, one can hope at least. Let me know what you guys think about these 3 Korean themed skins in the comments. Are you as impressed as I am? Next up, we've got the subject of the Overwatch World Cup. Now, nothing official has been released, but FREEDO and I were looking at the Overwatch League Season 2 schedule last night, as the player summit was yesterday, and we wanted to start looking at when matches were to pick out good ones for possible content, and we noticed that Season 2 actually goes on for a lot longer than Season 1 did. Well, that's obvious, Eddie. There's more teams, and so on. Well, there's also bigger gaps between each stage and midway through the season, to the point where Stage 4 doesn't end until August 25th, which is well after the finals took place last year. That's not even counting the playoffs or the finals themselves. Most likely, the season won't be entirely wrapped up until mid or late September, which when you think about it, isn't that far away from BlizzCon. Now traditionally, the Overwatch World Cup has had its finals there. It's one of Blizzard's best goodwill items, as FREEDO puts it, and gives fans at the convention and at home something to cheer for. Unless of course, you're American, then you can talk mad smack before the tournament and get wrecked by a bunch of plucky Brits with bad teeth. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. Anyway, banter aside, having the Overwatch League finish so late doesn't give a lot of time for regional qualifying or a player break postseason. This had us thinking, is there actually going to be a World Cup at BlizzCon 2019? Fans do really like it, but Blizzard must take a fairly hefty loss on it. There's no real revenue to be made. But if there wasn't a tournament, what if anything would take its place? As I said, it's one of the big Overwatch items for the show. The actual reveals take hardly any time at all. Here's a hero trailer and maybe a cinematic. Unless Jeff has something special planned this year, and the World Cup has been sidelined because there's a need for more stage time for reveals. This is a wild speculation in theory crafting, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out at some point Overwatch is going to get expanded majorly or receive a sequel. If that were going to happen at this BlizzCon, which isn't totally unreasonable to suggest, then they'd need a lot more time to wow us with trailers and features. If that were the case, despite the World Cup's popularity, I think fans might be a little bit preoccupied to care about its absence. What do you guys think? I know we've tried to Sherlock Holmes this a little bit, and we could be barking in the wrong forest, let alone up the wrong tree, but it's interesting to me to look at the schedule and realise they can't possibly fit everything in, at least not under the same format we've seen before. Food for thought. And that about wraps it up for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. If you never want to miss another video of ours again, please click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on our channel to join the notification squad. You'll be in great company. And finally, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and other cool stuff. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time,